An aerial shot of New York City is seen on a smartphone sitting on a desk. A voice is heard as the video zooms into the smartphone, and then you see the face of the voice, Sydney McElrath, on camera.
The trip to New York City definitely changed my life.
Multiple interviews follow about the communication program at Indiana University Kokomo.
We did a ton of fun things like going to Broadway show. We did the 9/11 museum.
Alumna Sydney McElrath sits on campus with the main building behind her as she speaks.
Probably going to NBC Studios. We even went to the NASDAQ and talked to some people there who had communications degrees. We got to see the behind the scenes of a lot of things that it was like, oh, someone with a communications degree does this? And you're like, okay.
Chris Darr, professor of communication, speaks on campus with the quad behind him.
They had a good time, but they also learned a lot about what their career might look like. So our students go into careers like public relations, social media management, sales, journalism, etc., and they actually do the work while they're here.
Asia Randolph speaks with Hunt Hall sitting behind her.
As far as the communications program, I don't feel like it gets the light that it deserves. On the outside looking in, before I got into the program, I probably would have thought the same thing, like how hard is it to communicate? There was a class that I took, research methods, that blew my mind, like what goes into research.
Isaac Beachy sits on campus with Hunt Hall behind him as he speaks.
One thing that did attract me to IU Kokomo was the small classrooms. Going to Eastern High School, I always had small classrooms, and I did well in that environment, and I didn't want to change it up.
Sydney McElrath continues.
After that trip, I was like, you can take this degree anywhere. You can do so many different things with it.
Professor Chris Darr continues speaking.
You are going to learn job skills that are in high demand. You're going to be prepared for a job market that wants people who are good communicators, can solve problems, can work well with others. You're going to learn all those things here. 95% of students who get communication degrees are working in their field within 2 years.
Brandon Bishop, market director of Coca-Cola Bottling Company in Kokomo, Indiana, speaks in the Coca-Cola warehouse.
We look for candidates with strong communication skills, so having that strong communications background starting in the workplace, home run. The experience that they gain talking to professionals, doing mock interviews, mock pitches that they do at IUK that I've been a part of as well. That only just gives them more experience to come in on day one at the workplace and hit the ground running. Being an outsider looking at somebody that has a communications degree, like immediately I'm gonna look at, that industry is, probably news, some kind of media, right? Whether it be radio, television, whatever the case may be. But I mean, communication is in every single industry. And we were talking about, a new hire, like that just takes you from day one to week 6 on the onboarding, and you can actually start getting into what your job really is.
Sydney McElrath speaks again.
You can really do anything. You can go anywhere. You can do whatever you want. Like, if you put your mind to it, you've got it.
The screen cuts to an aerial video of New York City as the text, "Come learn more about where a communication degree can take you. Visit.iuk.edu." appears on the screen. The IU logo appears on screen with visit.iuk.edu.